Yeah, that definitely gets ran through. Mm. Mm. You said what? That she's already done the bottom. Mm. Good shit. Good shit. Ah, shit. Ah, damn. All right. Oh no, good shit. Oh shit. Ah, damn. Shit. Mm. Mm. And that's all you have to do in the first place. Yeah. Yeah, I do make it difficult, don't I? That's all I have to do in the first place instead of just. All right. I'm fresh about my bed. Mm. Yeah, I guess I'll just do it like that. Just keep it like that. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Looks like the morning is already off to a slow, very slow start. I guess it should be expected. Honestly, I really don't know why. But so we're already off to a slow start. We had a big move overnight. The market's been consolidating in this range for the entire overnight session. The only market right now for shorts is going to be the NASDAQ. Ah, shit. Ah, damn it. Damn. Damn. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hey, what's up, Alfred? That's a slow start so far. Slow start. Hmm. Hmm. $773,795. Hmm. Mm. So literally the market has, for the first 15 minutes, this is all the market's done for the first 15 minutes. All right. All right, we're starting to see a little bit of action. We'll see if I can get this limit hit. And it works out for me. Yeah. Actually, let's look at that. Yeah, so right now silver only has about 61,000 contracts being traded today. Gold a little over 100,000. Nasdaq, ES. It looks like they're trading with a relatively decent volume. All right, let's see. Let's see if this is the right decision. Sell at this area. All right, so I'm in. Now we need to pull back all the way back down to those lows. We'll see if the market is going to be nice to me here. Mm. 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 Yeah, what's up, Tony? What's up? Mm. Mm. Looks like well, we'll see. Okay. The market is definitely moving in slow motion right now. Uh, mm, mm. Yeah, I'm definitely conflicted right now. Definitely conflicted. Um, mm, mm, mm. I could take profits and break even and look for another trade, or I can hope for the best, stay in the trade. Well, I guess breaking even is not, well, it's not an option no more. But um, it's not an option anymore. Mm. Um, come on, Silver, you ain't had to do that. But mm, mm, okay, all right. Mm. Hey, yo, what's up, John? Well, I guess that kind of sucks. Mm, okay. Hmm. Okay, looks like I'm in this. Looks like I'm in this copper trade, but uh, we're not gonna watch this because copper is slow as hell. Copper is slow. This is not. You set this and you forget it, and you just come back afterwards. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, this does look like a good short. I mean, I'm shorting from an area where the market breaks structure. I'm looking for a pullback here. I think I should be good. I think I should be good, but like I said, we're not gonna watch this. I can just, we'll just come back. Did hit daily loss limit in this account though, which sucks. Okay. Yeah, it would need to break. It would need to break this high. So I took the short because of this, but you know, every time when I kind of need the market to kind of do something in particular, it always seems to not do it. Always seems to not do it. So I've been like I said, I've been back testing a lot this weekend. Looking for things that are consistent, and that break of structure trade to the pullback seems to be like the most reliable. So what I'm gonna do here is wait until price breaks this high. I'm gonna wait for a price to break the high, get a convincing break, not like a wick, but I'll just wait for the break, and I'll trade the pullback, or at least try to get as a pullback trade here. The bears failed to break and hold underneath that 580 low all night. So that low that the market, that session low that the market made around like 5 o'clock yesterday at 580. I mean, I doubt that we get a session breakout. I mean, I doubt that it breaks the highs. I doubt that. Yeah, the bears try to actually just go to the NinjaTrader chart, because that Project X chart is not for anything other than taking the trade. Okay. So you can kind of see like right here, that low right there. At 580. You can see that the market failed to take price underneath this low about 3 times. So you have 1, 2, 3 failed attempts. It looks like now the market is breaking above that high. So now that we're getting that break of structure, but I will look for that pullback. Into structure. $7.10. But $5.15. All right, so we got that break of structure. All right. All right. And actually, that actually does look like a good area right there. You have a range right there, breakout. But it does look like they kind of already broken out. So now I'm just have to wait for the pullback. Just have to wait for the pullback now. Hmm. Hmm. All right. So it looks like. All right. We'll watch this. Hmm. Okay. All right. Well. Hmm. 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 So you took a loss on silver. Yeah. Kind of wish silver would go back. I mean, it's all right to be volatile, but man, just go back, man. Just go back to what you was doing before. Hmm. I mean, there's no way that shit does not work. It's highly unlikely for it to not to work. I mean, there had to be some pure fuckery for that thing not to work. And I guess I should have did it that way, I guess. Hopefully, speaking of NQ, hopefully, so I was looking at this morning. Hopefully Cave Trader was able to stay in this position last night. The NQ definitely cheated him. Hopefully he was able to take profits. He said that his stop was at 9 or 415. Price went all the way to 419. Hopefully, I mean, knowing him, he probably stopped out, but yeah, it went all the way to 419 before hitting his target, which kind of sucks because yeah, it was about like 11 points away from his profit target. And I told him last night, just pay attention to that wick, because usually when you see that wick right there, that means that the sellers are trapped and they got absorbed. And usually that's what happens when we see those little wicks right there. And all price really did was come back to this range, and the bulls failed, and a nice seller or buyer failure trade right there. That would have been a nice profit right there. Nice trade right there. Seller failure, but waiting for these is just waiting for it is just the unfun part. But man, when you wait for this and you're able to capitalize on a move like that, it's just waiting for it. That's what sucks. All right, so after some analysis on copper, I made a mistake, or I guess I got overzealous. with the short. I just came off of a big winner on copper this morning in my other account, and I guess I got to, like I said, overzealous, and I took an unnecessary loss in this count because now that I look back, now that I'm not, I guess, euphoric, which I kind of hate, but whatever, we'll get over it. I mean, I literally traded at an order block that was mitigated 4 times. I mean, I don't know why. It's the silly mistakes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 times price mitigated this order block. I mean, it might still come down, which kind of sucks because that it needed to stop me out. But yeah, I traded from an area where price was likely to come back down, so that just sucks. Okay, but I'm gonna learn from my mistake. I've already learned from the mistake. Copper is pretty straightforward. As with all the trades I take, it's always me. It's always something that I blind myself from just to be able to take the trade, and it's just something else that I have to start being mindful of. Because, like I said, I was able to get this big winner in my other account. I've already logged out of this one. Yeah, I got this big winner on copper. So basically, copper. These 2 wins on copper took out all of these losses. So these 3 losses that I had on gold, now I'm back at break even from last week. So I'm glad. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I found copper, or copper was suggested to me. And actually, I listened and looked over it and saw that copper fits more of my style than silver and gold combined. But you just can't beat the amount of money that you can make on silver if you're lucky enough to get in at the right time. So I'll just have my Tradeify accounts, because it doesn't offer micro silver. I'll just have my Tradeify accounts exclusively for copper, and just have my Top Step and what's it called, Lucid accounts for silver. But I'm not gonna wish anything bad on those accounts. You know, I'm going to trade them to the best of my ability, but I just find it hard to stop trading if I take a loss. I'll trade until daily loss limit. So and that's dangerous, because these accounts are funded, and I'm not going to sit idly. I mean, unless I'm forced to stop trading, I'm not going to stop trading. So I guess moving forward, to save money and to save me from myself, I'll mostly trade Top Step accounts, or I'll only purchase Top Step accounts moving forward. Because that $1,200 loss I just realized in that account just took out 2 days of work, which, and obviously in hindsight, I mean, I could have brought my, I mean, I could have took the profits, but you know, I'm not going to do it. So because, man, during the times when I take the profit, it would have went to my target, and then I would have found a way to try to make that money back. So it's just safer for me and my reaction to how things are, just to accept what happens. Because I promise you, if I took profits and it went into my profit target, I would have been in 2 silver minis looking to make back what I lost. And that trade would have definitely blew me up for sure. Hey, yo, what's up, J Stores? Yeah. And that's why I try to kind of stay away from the Sunday Open, Alfred. Purposely. Because, man, I mean, yeah, I can make the money really quick, but I can lose it just as fast too. Silver is not an instrument where you have to really FOMO into things, because any opportunity is a profitable opportunity. So I don't necessarily have to gamble to open, because I'm not going to make any more money than if I just wait for a setup. I just have to remind myself of that. I mean, you're not going to make any more money. I mean, even if you catch the entire move, unless you're in a personal account, which I highly doubt that anybody is putting $50,000, $70,000 into a personal account just to trade silver. Highly doubt that. But if you are, well, these firms have, you know, they have cap payouts. So, I mean, if we just remind ourselves of, you know, the limitations, and we can use those limitations to our advantage, and just remind ourselves, our emotional selves, that, yeah, it's fun to, you know, to come in and gamble that open, but you can make just as much money just waiting for that setup. You just have to be more patient. And I hit daily loss limit in that account because I was just being impatient. I got chopped up at the Asia Open. I got chopped before it actually went in my direction. What I failed to do in that situation was wait for the break of structure. And I really don't know why I do that. I keep talking about it. I know this to be true. I just get so impatient. I just say, you know, I have 27 ticks of risk. Just, you know, just take it. And Silver continuously showed me that she has a method to her madness. You have to wait for the break structure first. You have to, or the trade is just not going to work. Like this leg right here. Let me just do this because that's kind of crazy. Okay. So this leg right here, this leg right here was the breaker structure. So price broke structure right here, and price came all the way, literally all the way back. And I was looking at it this morning, and I was like, man, you know, if I'm just being patient, if I'm just patient, you know, Silver literally will present tick perfect entries. So it broke structure at 7:30, and this is where I got chopped up at right here, and I hit daily loss limit. And then it breaks structure. It doesn't come back here, but it breaks structure down. But then it finally makes it back to the area where price originally breaks structure to the left. And lo and behold, super winner. This thing took out all these lows right here. And I just don't know why. I just don't allow myself to just be patient. I just want to make the money. I want my money and I want it now. There's another example right here. This leg breaks structure. It pulls back. Let's see if actually we would have survived this one. Let's see. 27 ticks of risk. Yeah. Would have been able to survive this. Not with an 18 tick stop though. I wouldn't have been able to survive an 18 tick. It would have stopped me right at 18 ticks. Actually. Would have stopped me right at 18 ticks. This is the whole reason why I went to 27. Now I'm getting ticked out at 27 now. Okay. All right, we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna still enter at this area right here. 515. We'll see if we get a deep enough pullback and a bullish reaction from this area. Yeah. Yeah, sorry to see that, Alfred. Oh no, you still have that account, or we play the rest in peace music? Oh, come on, Copper. Man, oh, come on. Ah, Copper, come on, dude. Man. Mm. Okay, I mean, it's all right, man. It's all right. 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 We'll get him tomorrow. We'll get him tomorrow. How did I miss this yesterday? Like, how did I miss this? How did I miss that? I got to make sure that I'm paying attention to Copper, because this thing set up, like, I totally missed this setup last night, and it was right there. There was nothing. There's literally nothing That shit set up last night. I would have got that short at well, I mean it would have happened at 11 o'clock, but the setup happened at 7 o'clock, 7:30. Oh, that's interesting. I was not paying attention. All right. So I'm basically a metals trader now. I got what? I wonder what else I wonder what else if I look at it, it'll fit my style of trading. A double top, like a copper double top rejection at the highs. Literally a double top rejection at the highs. I got in, I think around 995 or something like that. I got in all the way down here. So I mean, regardless, I mean, I was wrong, but I mean, if I took that trade, I still probably, yeah, I would have got stopped out still. I would have got stopped out still. Hmm. A double top. Mm. I think copper is probably the only metals that double tops consistently. I don't necessarily look for double tops and bottoms anymore because of the market's tendency to run liquidity. But from what I've seen, copper will double top and double bottom if given the opportunity to do so. Yeah, it will double top and double bottom. But I prefer not to take those trades. This small move right here is about what, $400, $500 on one contract, which is all I need. So all I'm looking for is a small move like this on my 50K accounts, and this is just easy money. So, well, I mean, I've learned something. I mean, I made a mistake here. I shouldn't have shorted it so low. I shouldn't have shorted it so low. I'll get that money back tomorrow. You say if it double tops frequently, then price is capped. Oh, what is it called? My girl just my partner was talking about she just finished Games of Thrones. Isn't it, I thought it was like House of Dragons was the spinoff. Oh, the Knights of the Seven Kingdoms? You know, I hate when streaming services, remember when streaming services used to drop the entire season at one time so you can binge watch it? Now this is basically cable where you have to wait every week for it. Oh well. No, I don't like using those terms. I don't like using those terms. I mean, if you really think about it, well, I don't know if I should even go into this, but I mean, we got to think about the original meanings of these words and what they used to mean. Your wife is basically your property. That's why I don't use that word. Understand that it doesn't have the same meaning, or people don't use it with that meaning in mind, but your wife is your property. That's why once you wed or marry someone, they take on your last name. And once that, I guess it's I guess, quote unquote, your wife is treated as property. In a divorce, you basically have to give half your estate to her because she was your property. And now that you are casting away that property, you have to, quote unquote, I guess the most clearest example of that whole process is kind of like when you fire an employee and you have to pay them a severance for their years of service. I'm not a word Nazi, but I try to speak and understand the the original meanings of words. And regardless of how these words are being used now, it doesn't take away from the fact that in the eyes of law, if you go to court and you're married to somebody, then that means that they're entitled to half of your estate. So I don't use words like that. That's why I use the word partner. Okay. But anyway, all right. Yeah, it definitely is. I guess that also makes sense. I guess the main reason why Stars does so many spin-offs with Power is because every time Power goes off or a season of Power goes off, people stop, they cancel the subscription of Stars. And they found a simple solution by splitting up the characters. It's going to be like an endless cycle of they introduce new characters, see which ones are popular, see which stories people want to follow, and they just keep doing spinoffs. Like I guess they're doing a spinoff now where Tyreek and Tommy are now going back to New York. Kind of off topic from trading, but I was talking to I was telling her, I was like, man, that's crazy that why would Tommy go back to New York when he's built up a stronghold in Chicago? Why would he do that? Nobody cares about any of the characters in Power except for Tommy. At least in my opinion, none of the characters made a real impact to do a spinoff that anybody would be interested in. At least that's my opinion. At least I wouldn't be interested in any spinoffs with any of the characters in that show. Nobody has made a significant impact other than Tommy. I mean, gain weight. This limit is literally at structure. Hold on, guys. My daughter is calling for me. Yeah, I started watching Raising Kanan and well, I started to really enjoy Raising Kanan in what, season 3? Season 1 and 2. They just tried to, I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, we get that, I don't know, man. I just kind of hate when they kind of just do things and it doesn't make sense at first, but then they kind of toned the story down. They didn't make it stupid. And season 3 of Kanan was I mean, dude, it was really great. I was like, man, I really like the show now. BMF, stupid now. Like, that shit is stupid. I can't watch it. It's stupid. After the first season, it's just stupid. They're just doing shit now. It's stupid. Ghost, the first couple of seasons was great, and then they just made it stupid. How the hell do you go all the way, like, well, let me take a step back. How the hell do you go overseas and then you come back to the United States in the same fucking day? How? And even if you take a private plane, you still have to, I mean, there's still records. That plane has to still keep records. And how do you get back in the same day? This, like, how the hell is he doing all of this shit? And he's in an Ivy League school. He has enough time to deal drugs, kill people, play chess games, and still have enough time in the day to get his schoolwork done. Like, dude, how does he do that? This is stupid. My guy, of course. All right. Yeah, dude, it's just stupid, man. It's just stupid. It's like, go back to storytelling, man. You want a story. Well, okay. I guess I understand, with this new generation, if there's not explosions or, just stupid shit that it's like, well, it's not, it's like, this is what actually is going on. They're not telling a story. They're just, they're creating scenes that elicit emotions. And for those that live on the emotional plane of existence, living within their emotional body, and they don't ever exit outside of that emotional self, and they're not thinking, they don't care about a good story like The Wire or Breaking Bad or and those are the only two I can really think of, like a really thoughtful story. There's like, oh my God, there was an explosion. Oh my God, there was a betrayal. Oh, somebody's pregnant. Oh, they're not pregnant no more. It's just the emotional roller coaster. And it's like, after the ride is done, people that live within their emotional selves, they reference how the show made them feel. And they'll say, oh my God, it was a great show. And the reason, or the main reason why I came to this conclusion is because, I asked my partner, I asked her about certain shows, and she's like, oh my God, I like it. I was like, what was there to like? It's like, dude, they was just doing stupid shit. She was like, yeah, I like it. Oh shit, okay, whatever, dude, whatever. And I go in the comments and it's the same thing. It's like, okay, well, I understand that life experience through your emotions can be very great, but I don't know. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, that's all television is nowadays, and I don't care for it. So I'll just I'll just choose just to continue to read. I mean, I guess that's what reading is for. If you want the story, if you want the details, if you want to use your imagination, you know, that's what the story is. That's what reading books are for. And I'll just continue to do that. I think that's why mangas are just so, uh, Japanese or Asian storytelling is just very good because it's a story. It's like, man, it's a great story. American storytelling is about just stupidity. It's only focused on one person, and for whatever reason, that one person, everything that they do it well. Everybody else loses against that one person. Uh, it's only the only time that somebody else comes into the story is, just for plot. And then down the line, that same person that was at the same level as the main character is either weak or goes away somewhere. It's just horrible storytelling now. It's just horrible. I watched the Dark Knight last night, and I was like, man, this is a great story. It made me think about I don't know if Snyder made the Dark Knight. Maybe he did. But if Snyder made the Dark Knight, then if he also made it had a lot of parallels in the Justice League. Uh, I was able to watch that movie with new eyes and saw all the symbolism in that movie, and it was like, wow. I mean, my eyes were too closed to see a lot of the symbolism in that movie. And I like movies like that where it has layers for it. Depending on where you are in life, you can be able to see the Easter eggs in those types of movies. But it says Solo Leveling is fire. I'll watch it. Well, I know it's a manga, but I haven't watched. Is there an anime? But I'll probably read the manga. It's a great story. It's a great story. Oh, there's an anime? Cool. You said Yellowstone is another one? Okay. Stranger Things? I don't know, man. I think I watched maybe one episode and thought it was stupid and just never continued watching it. Well, what do you like about it though? Or what about the plot do you like about it? Hmm. Is it actually Korea? Hmm. Yeah, it seems like China's taking over. Looks like China is trying to take over the anime game because a lot of Chinese animes can't think of them off the top of my head, but like the animation, beautiful animation, beautiful animation. If I can think of the name of that manga, I would actually show a clip of what I'm talking about, but I can't think of it. Yeah, dude, I've seen a couple of Chinese animes and like, dude, yeah. It seems like China, their absolution is to take something like it's like they don't want to create, they just want to take something that's already has form and polish it and make it better. That's what it seems like to me. Man, copper, and I hate that so much. Because that's what China's really good at. Taking concepts that's already exist and just making it better or making it more efficient and simple. Boy Smith talking about he at work. I was like, what the hell? Why you at work for? Everybody else is off. Why you at work? Why you at work, dude? Right. Oh, you at work too? Shit. All right, my bad. Let me take that back. Oh, have they? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Now, all right, let's see if we can get filled here. See if we get filled. Got to get your trading done early. Okay, well, shit. I thought everybody had today off. All right, my bad. My bad. I apologize for being insensitive to everybody that's at work right now. My bad. I thought today was a federal holiday. I mean, at least y'all guys get time and a half, right? All right. Oh, you don't think it's a federal holiday anymore? Oh, shit. Yeah, shit. Yeah. They don't skip a day. It's not a recognized holiday for your job. Yeah, you can't lose like that. You gotta play the numbers game. Legends, you work you talking about like a security SOC, a security operations center? You talk about like in cybersecurity? Great job to have, man. Does your SOC have a big screen TV and a ping pong table? I kind of had a feeling I should have just let her mom take her. She is not going to give me no. It's like, oh man, it's too cold outside, man. Let her stay here. She'll sleep. My God, girl. Give me a second. They let your mama take you. Smith said that his job also does not recognize MLK Day as a holiday. Yeah, what the? Nah, MLK Day needs to be recognized as a holiday. Damn it, we want that day off. Well, isn't Christopher Columbus? Isn't that considered a holiday? What's up with that? Or did they take that away too? Like people's birthdays, Christopher Columbus Day, quote unquote, discovering in America, depending on what you want to believe, stuff like that. If you're gonna consider one thing a holiday, you gotta consider them all a holiday. Nice one, Silver. Shit, you already know I don't care about none of that. As long as I get them days off and that holiday pay. That's all we care about. You say you took Juneteenth. I thought Juneteenth was also a recognized holiday too. All right, little girl, relax. Relax. All right, Silver. You know, I don't know why you needed to do that, Silver. Bastard. Man, that was dirty. All right, so the move I was looking for. So if I actually took this trade, I would have got stopped out to the tick. God damn, dude, that would have stopped me out to the tick. All right, I'm gonna probably put Silver on hold until it gets. Well, no, I can't do that. Yeah, Silver stopped out all the bulls right there. So I just measured this, and this was a 30-point stop out, 30 ticks. So this stopped out so many people before it actually went. Dude, Silver is getting too volatile to trade. It's getting too volatile. Too volatile. Okay. It's really fine. It's really becoming challenging to find an absolute way to trade Silver right now, because it picks and chooses when it wants to be volatile and when it doesn't. Oh hell no. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I think he already did. I think. Yeah, Trump is threatening any EU country that wasn't helping in the real estate purchase of Greenland to the United States, that he was going to put at least a 25% tariff on them. And this is. I mean, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, if you really want to go down it, and you look at the Illuminati card game, and you see Trump, and you see Trump is supposed to be the catalyst for the economic collapse and in all the chaos and blah blah blah, right? now that there is another option, now that China is an option, and shit, China's over there. This is why you're seeing a lot of nations actually going over and doing more business with China now and moving away from that petrodollar. Because of stuff like this, is because the United States is weaponizing the dollar. But I mean, I guess you also have to think about this. Either you want the United States to weaponize the currency, or do you want it to weaponize weapons of mass destruction? Which one would you rather have? Because we all know that the United States is an empire built off of blood, and there's a lot of it. And the only reason why it's appeared docile is because it already has systems in place where it doesn't have to be as violent. Obviously, there's violence, obviously, but it's not as violent. It doesn't need to be as violent as it used to be because it already has systems in place to exercise that violence in other ways, like with tariffs. But if tariffs are no longer effective and the United States doesn't want to let go of its dominance, well, you already see what they did in Venezuela when the United States wasn't getting its way. We already see that we're already threatening Cuba, Mexico, and Iran. We're starting to see the old ways come out. Because at the end of the day, if China takes global dominance, well, we could be definitely looking at a different world. I mean, obviously, the United States will be recognized as a superpower, but China, with China on top, I don't think the United States, America, would take that very lightly. They wouldn't take that. Yeah, I don't think so. Nobody wants to be called a has-been. Nobody wants to have a crown being snatched from them. And moving from the position of master to the position of servant. Nobody wants that. Yeah. So we'll see. But China is definitely biding its time. And the one thing scary about China is that it literally came from nothing. And it built itself to be a superpower. A superpower, like the whole the stereotype where they had to eat cats and dogs and reuse this and reuse that. I mean, that's true because they came from nothing. They came from that to being a rival to the United States. They came from that to now basically embedding themselves and showing themselves to be the leader that's going to move the entire world forward as the quote unquote the United States, the demon in their eyes, the bad guy, the antagonist, is trying to hold everybody in place and prevent growth and evolution. It's a story, basically. And supposedly, China has met its mandates up until this point. China globally announces its goal, and supposedly all their goals have been met. So, and it's now because of China that silver is now like the paper versus physical market. That's why these banks are scrambling now, because China now is dictating the price of silver. It's moving it away from its paper market, and now it's moving to a physical market where now silver needs to be delivered. And once the prices, I mean, shit, I think what last year price was all the way down to 69, 70. The end of the year, like at 79, I think. Don't quote me, but somewhere in that area. And now we're trading literally $20 higher at 95, 94, 95 an ounce. This thing is going to be at like shit $200 before the end of the year. It has to be. There's no way that it wouldn't be. With all this demand. And you know, it's interesting because the Biden administration, they wanted to move into electric vehicles and solar panels and AI and all this other stuff that requires a lot of silver. I wonder where they was going to get all this silver from. Honestly, I feel like well, yeah, it definitely was. I mean, it'll be still that shit. Yeah, honestly, I don't. Well, it really. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the United States will ever attack China head on. But at the same time, if there was a situation where the United States went to war with China physically, I don't know. I think they'll probably use it kind of like what they kind of did in Venezuela. They'll kind of use unorthodox weapons. An immediate weapon that would come to mind would be to create a tsunami or something that would just probably take it out or something like that. I don't think a fight with like guns would happen. I think they would just use weather controlling weapons and stuff and do that. But then at the same time, I guess they can also do the same thing. I mean, one thing is definitely for sure on the world stage, if you do not have weapons of mass destruction, you might have somebody come in and take your leader and claim dominance over your land. That is definitely for sure. I mean, the main reason why the United States doesn't really touch Russia is because supposedly they have a dead man switch. Supposedly. Russia's like, shit, if we get taken out, everybody's going to get taken out with us. We ain't going alone. I mean, Russia does have those little missiles that are demonstrated in Ukraine, so that literally flew right past all their air defenses and literally demonstrating their power. You said you was out all weekend? No, nothing much, Santiago. Nothing much. Yeah, I think that's also true, Jay Stores. I don't think. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. I think that's true. There was no reason why Russia couldn't take Ukraine, even with the help of the United States. But I mean, obviously, I guess there's a reason for it. It's such a shame that that had to happen in the first place. I mean, I guess the United States just can't help itself. I guess the powers that be, that fuel that moved the United States forward, they just can't help themselves. I mean, I understand it. You know, the idea of conquest and a lot of esoteric teachings is that the human is moved by conquest and to conquer. And if you're not conquering, then you're dying. It's just one of those things where it's embedded in our DNA. There's never times of peace because people don't know what to do with it. If we're not expanding, moving and claiming new territory, we are dying. We're being stagnant. So in order to keep that new youthful, powerful energy flowing, there needs to be conquest of some kind. And the United States has definitely taken that to heart. That's why we don't have peacetime for too long. I mean, honestly, you can actually see this in your life yourself. I mean, you can see this for yourself. Just find yourself in a peaceful situation where all your debt is gone. Just imagine all your debt is gone. You have no bills. You have a loving wife, girl, whatever you want to call her. Everybody is happy. Everything is happy. What do we usually tend to do in situations like that? We become very uncomfortable. And we start to create the chaos that we crave. We start to create it within ourselves. We start a drinking habit, a harsh drug habit, probably start gambling. A lot of people turn to gambling. It's the perfect activity that makes you believe that you're growing by like, oh man, I got 3 wins in a row. But then there's also the uncertainty aspect of it. There's also the possibility where you absolutely you lose everything and you'll start over. We just create the destruction. I do it myself. I've cleaned my debt twice and I created new debt. And I keep doing that stupid shit. Just can't find peace. Don't want it. Just like that meme says, it's like, I don't want peace. I want problems always. That is definitely true, and it's embedded in our human nature for sure. Oh, the music's not playing? Yeah, K Trader, dude, I was thinking about you this morning. Well, not like that. Yeah, I paused. Okay, yeah. All right, I got that one. Pause. But yeah, I was looking at the NASDAQ this morning, K Trader, and I was like, damn, K Trader got stopped out. And then it went to his target. Yeah. I was like, yeah, classic NQ. Classic NQ, man. Not only did it hit his target, it exceeded it by about 20 points. Yep. That's why we don't trade Nasdaq no more. We don't have to tolerate that shit. We don't got to tolerate it until Nasdaq cleans up her act, get the therapy that she needs. We don't have to tolerate that shit. We can lose our money just as fast in gold, silver. Yeah, yeah. The market has a really funny way of doing that, man. Dude, it really has a funny way of finding where your stop is to the tick and then going in your direction. And it doesn't matter where you get in at. It's like, how does it do that? How does it do that? It's like, how does it know? Yeah. And shit, since we're talking about like symbolism and stuff like that, I was reflecting on today, being MLK Day and stuff like that. And as I was on the treadmill this morning, I was thinking about the story of Harriet Tubman. And, I'm not going to argue with anybody in terms of if Harriet Tubman was a real person. Because automatically when I hear that story, it sounds very symbolic, not necessarily the life of an actual person. So I understand that some people believe she was. Maybe she was. I don't know. I mean, shit, I don't know. But I feel like it's more symbolic. Especially that phrase where it says that she freed 1,000 slaves. She could have freed 1,000 more, but they didn't want it. That sounds very symbolic. And it kind of made me think about, because I guess what really made me think about that, it was like a chain of events, a chain of ideas. I came across this short, and like how there are people out there that actually take their time to come, like once they reach an enlightened state or a state that where they believe to be enlightened, they go back and they try to, speak to people and say, hey, you got to really think about the words that you're saying. You got to really think about, something as simple as, this calendar that, a lot of people live by, about how there's 12 months in a year. And because, some people would say that there's 13. Honestly, I really don't care. Every day feels the same to me. But the one thing that is definitely out there for everybody to see and everybody to consider is, why is it that, the first day of the supposed year is when, the universe, Earth, whatever you want to call it, is literally at the end of its cycle. It's in this death cycle. It's not in rebirth. Spring is supposed to be, or it should be, the new year, because that's when everything comes back to life. So why is it that we're celebrating a quote unquote new year when everything is still dead in its dead cycle in the dead of winter? And I've seen some things where April Fools is so technically the first day of the year, March 1st or April 1st or whichever day that you want to say is the first day of the year. For me, to keep it simple, I feel that all you have to do is start from December and just kind of go back, and you'll kind of find like the first day, because we all know that September is 7, October is 8, November is 9, and December is 10. I mean, it's literally in the name. So how is December the 12th month, November the 11th, October the 10th, and September the 7th, when they literally have numbers in their names? Literally. So, that's obvious that, there's something going on there. There's obvious. We can all see that, right? And, this person was explaining it to people that has, I guess has accepted the American dream, and that's another symbolic truth that's literally hidden in plain sight. It's literally saying that everybody is living the a quote unquote, it's America's dream. America. Not necessarily your dream. You're living within the American dream, but the dream of America is the systems that are in place now. And it's all a dream. What's the dream? What's America's dream? America's dream is that people will have the nuclear family. They'll have a hearth, a house, 2 kids, a dog, debt, school, like work, death, rebirth. That's the American dream, right? And people that has become accustomed to that quote unquote illusion or dream, if somebody breaks out of that quote unquote matrix and tries to explain like, hey, your way of thinking, you may just reconsider how you think about things, right? They'll laugh at you, they'll call you stupid. And for those that understand what's going on, you don't take it personally. They're just protecting their core beliefs, because if you take those core beliefs away from them, it can literally destroy who they are. I mean, those are their core beliefs. And of course, everybody ridiculed him, was, calling them, it's like, oh, this ninja coming with that. And honestly, it made me think about just the ignorance. And it's like, man, this person actually took the time to try to quote unquote be Harriet Tubman and go back and save 1,000 slaves, but the other 1,000 slaves don't want to be saved. They're comfortable. They rather live and die within the American dream. That's all they care about. They don't want to hear nothing else. They're okay with worshiping whoever they're told to worship. They're okay with being told to like who they're being told to like. They're okay with being told who they should hate. They're okay with that. And I mean, it's their freedom. They have free will to do that too. So you really can't impose your will on other people. So I guess with me personally, I kind of find myself in the middle at times. I'm not going to sit here and go back and be Harriet Tubman and try to save you. I'll definitely tell you if you ask. I would share some things that, I've learned along the way and stuff that I can prove to be true. I won't necessarily talk about things that I can't 100% prove. I will always say that, these are things that could be the truth. Could be. But I mean, it's depends on whether you want to take it in or not. I'm not Harriet Tubman. And honestly, I wouldn't even expend energy to be Harriet Tubman, because honestly, just listening to that video or watching that video, it drained me so much. I just felt drained. I was like, dude, I'm not going to talk to these idiots. I mean, if they choose, like, dude, well, I don't want to call them an idiot, but I guess for me, an idiot is someone that's unwilling to challenge their core belief systems with the truth. If you're more comfortable living in a lie, then I believe you're an idiot. It's no disrespect, but it's just like you're unwilling to learn. You're unwilling to accept new information and consider your core belief system. That's all you got to do is just consider it. I tell myself if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I may not like it that I was wrong, but I'm not going to sit here once I see the truth. I'm not going to live in ignorance. And I just won't do that. But some people just like, no, I'd rather live with ignorance. It's better this way. I can blame my problems on the devil. I can blame my problems on the president, even though he has nothing to do with my day-to-day life. Nothing. Doge, I mean, I'll say the only thing that this administration has done that may have affected the majority of people is Doge. Doge really affected a lot of people. The government shutdowns affected a lot of people. But outside of those two events, people just they rather feel comfortable just blaming all their problems on something like that. Yeah, I think that too, Santiago. And honestly, Alfred, I believe that. If you really, yeah, I believe that. Honestly, I don't know why. It just seems like uh, Trump is actually doing the same thing. Trump is actually doing the same thing. He wants something that will solidify his presidency. Something like in the next 10 years, people's going to talk about, and acquiring Greenland is probably like the equivalent of Julius Caesar, however you want to pronounce it. By implanting their name in history. That's what Trump wants to do. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with conquest. There's definitely nothing wrong with it. Dude, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if that's what happened. I mean, he did rename the Gulf of America, right? And I'm already seeing the books. I've already seen the documentations with that change. If you go on your Google Maps, it's Gulf of America. Apple Maps, Gulf of America. So I mean, it's there. It's already been changed. So yeah, honestly, that's why I mean I never really had an attachment to the holidays or stuff. I mean, I have girls, so I understand that they're going to want to do these things, not necessarily because because they care, but because of the world that girls live in. The things that are important to females are community, status, and security. I mean, you can kind of get security and status in the community. So I mean, basically, overall, it's really community. And if other girls are getting things for Valentine's Day and Christmas and whatever, it will obviously elicit emotions of feeling inferior to somebody else. Like, of course, that's why they get on social media. They post how big their ring is, not necessarily the fact that the person actually says, "Hey, I want you to be in my life for the rest of my life." It's, oh, look how big my ring is. If you look in the comic section, what are they talking about? Oh my God, girl. Look at the size of that ring. Look at it. And then if it's not the size of it, it's how much it costs. I mean, those are the things that are very important to females. And since I got 3 of them, I have to consider that. And I have to just kind of accept that, regardless of how I feel about it, they're not going to feel the same way about it. They're not. So I have to partake in some of it. I won't partake in all of it, but I will partake in some of it. Like Valentine's Day, we'll celebrate Valentine's Day, not necessarily on Valentine's Day, but a week before or a week after. I refuse to do anything on Valentine's Day, and you will not make me. We'll do something before or after. Mother's Day, okay, that's fine. We'll do something Mother's Day. That's fine. What are the holidays? Christmas? Nah, I don't do Christmas. I don't do Christmas. I don't do none of that shit. Halloween, that's fine. You can go trick or treating with your mom. I'm not gonna partake in it. Thanksgiving, yeah, you can go spend time with your family. I'm just not gonna partake in it. Birthday is fine. Obviously, I mean, you really, if I've found that birthdays, that's one of the days where I don't really celebrate my birthday. I don't care to. But I know that if I try to pull that shit on any one of my girls, so. I'm not talking to you, Daddy. I'm not gonna talk to you. I know that to be. Yeah, that's definitely true, Cave Trader. That's actually that's embedded in the system. I mean, Alfred knows layaway before the credit system. I mean, layaway has always been there. They knew exactly what they was doing. There's no need for, I mean, shit. Once these credit card companies started trying to be bougie and try to hit you with a credit score, when they figured out that, so if someone has a bad credit score, I can still give them a credit card with higher interest rate and make more money. Now, it's highly unlikely that you'll get somebody to pay it back, but these credit card companies know that, or at least I guess they found out that, yeah, just give everybody a credit card. They'll just keep swiping, just keep them in debt. If I don't know if they can garnish your wages, I don't know if they can do that, but if that was part of the equation, but then they just sell their debt off to other people. It's like your debt just gets, if you have to open any of their mail, I mean, shit, like I've said before, back when I didn't necessarily care to play the game, if you gave me money with bad credit, that was your fault. And that's what I always said. It's their fault. They gave me, they sit there and give me money, and no, I have a history of not paying that shit back. Want to give me more of it? That's your fault. It's your fault. But I've moved away from that. I mean, that was my early 20s because I figured that was a come up. But now I kind of understand that that's not necessarily the best thing to do, because now your credit is in everything. Like now you can't even get employed with a bad credit score. They do credit checks now. What's up with that? I mean, I understand it. I get it. I guess if you're in debt, then you could potentially, sell company secrets or stuff like that. But it's like, dude, if you got bad credit, I don't know if that's always been like that too. I don't know. Maybe it has. A 10% interest limit cap, the banks would lose a lot of money. I don't know. I don't know if Trump would get support for that. I mean, it's one thing to say it, but to actually do it, 10% is a lot, because a lot of these banks are charging like 18% and up. I know like 20% is like you're being a loan shark, and that's illegal. And I know that they can't necessarily target veterans or anybody in the U.S. forces with that. But if they push it down to 10%, that could actually have a negative effect with the banks because of how much money that they will lose overnight. As soon as that is implemented, they will lose so much money. Probably trillions of dollars wiped out, billions, trillions of dollars wiped out. He said some are charging, how? 30% is illegal, isn't it? I could have sworn it's illegal. You may be right, Alfred. I mean, I don't look into this type of stuff. I just yeah, so it said between 10 to 18% per year. I said anything above 18% supposed to be illegal. Supposed to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure it happens. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it don't. But this AI 2 has been kind of stupid, so I would back check. I mean, let me see if ChatGPT will give me the same answer, because this AI 2 has definitely been giving some wrong information lately. Man, that's crazy. I don't know. It's crazy that somebody would accept 30% interest rate. That's what's crazy, man. That is what's crazy, man. All right, so it said in special okay, so credit cards issued by banks. Many major banks are biased in Delaware or South Dakota, which have no minimum interest rate. Wow. This is why credit cards can legally charge 25 to 35% APR. Dude, that is crazy. That's absolute. Your credit should not be that bad to where, or your life should not be that bad to the point to where you're accepting 25. 18 is already bad enough. 10% is bad enough. It's bad. Like, dude, that's a lot. That is a lot. I would not accept no damn 20, 30. I don't care. Because you would never touch the principal. The only way you're touching the principal is if you already had the money to buy it in the first place. You're never touching the principal, dude. Never. You'll be paying the debt off, or you'll be paying the interest. And I mean, that's the system. And as long as they keep you in debt and keep you working, I mean, that's the whole point. Don't ever accept that. So I'm almost done with my car. I only paid what, $4,000 in interest. I have a 2% interest rate on it. So I only pay like $4,000. So split that into 5 years. So I'll be done with it this year. Time moves by fast, dude. I bought it in what, 2020? Yeah, I'll be done with it this year. I bought it in December of 2020, so I'll be done with it this year. So when I didn't have bad credit, I had the 18% interest rate, and I didn't understand interest. And honestly, I think this is when I was in the military too, and they had a program specifically for military members called what is it called? The SNAC program. It's called SNAC. I'm pretty sure anybody in the military is familiar with that term, where they take advantage of newly joined military members, give them high interest rates and high payments. Paid 18% interest rate, was literally paying for 3 vehicles at once. 3 vehicles. The vehicle I think was like what, $13,000 or $15,000 at the time. And looking back, I was paying that 3 times over. So I did not even touch the principal on that car at all. At all. Oh hell yeah, dude. I got that military star card too. Ran that shit up. Ran that shit up. Yeah, that's definitely true, Alfred. You said 12%. I mean, I guess 12% is the norm. I mean, a lot of people don't have their credit on. Don't have their credit on in order. I'm just glad that I kind of cleaned up my act. I took a whole year just paying off debt, and that's the only reason why I was able to get such a low interest rate. I guess that because they saw that I paid off all my debt at one time, or throughout the year. Not at one time, but throughout the year. Like I literally was just focused on any extra money that I had. You know, I was just paying off stuff, paying off stuff. And the crazy thing is, then this is kind of how I know, like, life, like once you focus, like, and you kind of make it clear what you want in life, life will definitely help you out. And it will test you to see if you're serious, because at the time, and as crazy as this sound, we was working, for whatever reason, they switched up our schedule. We had to work 12-hour shifts, and we had to work damn, was it almost every day? Like, dude, there was like no time off at all. Actually, I don't remember having no time off. I think it was probably off like 2 days out of the week, probably. But anyway, we would get 20 hours of overtime. 20 hours of freaking overtime, dude. And I used that 24 hours of overtime, all that extra money, just to pay off debt. Pay it off, pay it off. Make sure everything was paid off. In my normal life, make sure that everything was straight. And all that extra money, instead of going out and getting a brand new BMW or Audi or, you know, a luxury vehicle for the bitches. For the bitches. Trying to get a new wardrobe, getting shoes, you know, shit that don't retain. Well, I guess you can resell shoes, but it really depends on the shoe. I just didn't spend my money on stupid shit, which was unlike me because I have a closet full of shoes that I'll probably never wear. And it's all that money that I spent on those damn shoes. Anyway, something just said, like, dude, just use this money, pay off your debt. It's going to pay dividends in the future. I'm just glad I listened to that, because every week all that extra money, paid off debt, paid off debt, paid off debt. It took me a year to do it. And I kid you not, my last payment that I made, they cut off the overtime. They cut it off. It was like, okay, so now we're not, I guess it's during Trump's first term, and and all the extra money was there. But then I think like right around, not necessarily COVID, but kind of like in that area, like they just cut it off. And all the overtime was gone. And I was thinking to myself, wow, if at any point I deviated from the path, at any point I told myself, you know, the money's going to come in, just get something nice for yourself, for the bitches, get something nice. If I fell off the path, it would have disrupted everything. And I said, like, the last, and I was thinking to myself, now I got all this money. Now I can just have it for myself. And it was like, oh yeah, the overtime's done. We're good. No more overtime. But 20 hours of overtime. So just imagine all that extra money I had, man. But, and like I said, it paid dividends, because now, when I was able to get a vehicle, they saw that, oh wow, 2% interest rate. Shit, if I told myself that before that a bank was going to trust me enough to give me 2% interest rate, I would have said, get the hell out of here. The fuck they doing giving me 2%? But got a 2% on my car, man. I'm almost done with that damn thing. Yeah. Oh, they cut OT? You got 0%, dude. Man, shit. A lot of people, man, if you were able to take advantage of any of the loans that were being offered during COVID, and you're able to take advantage of that now, dude, congratulations. Or dude or dudette, congratulations, because it's highly unlikely that we'll ever see anything like that ever again, or in the near future. And I'm going hard on these prop accounts too, Alfred. As I mentioned in a previous stream, the Doge and the government shutdowns has really opened my eyes to a reality that, that I'm not comfortable with. I was met with the reality that I got comfortable. If Doge took away a lot, a lot of people in the company, a lot of their teams got disbanded, and the company had to find new places for them. if you weren't able to be relocated, if you didn't have, because they was like, man, you have to update your resume, you have to update your skills, and this, that, and the third, and blah 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 blah. Good thing that what I do is considered is actually what I do is actually protected by law. A business can't ever disband our team, but they can definitely replace me with somebody cheaper. They can always say, well, if we can't get rid of this, we can always replace them with somebody cheaper. Now, they can do that, and it'll probably cost them money in the long run if you're just going to hire Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street. But they can definitely do it. So that reality right there just popped. Is like, now it just drives me. Like, that's why it's like I'm staying focused on these firms, just like what Alfred said. If I can get a $2,000, $1,500 payout every 5 days and literally replace my income, not only am I generating my own money, it gives me a sense of duty. Like, now, I'm generating my own money. I'm making decisions, and through my decisions, I'm making money. You can't beat that. You can't beat it. Oh yeah, that's definitely the true J Stores. Yeah. No, they use that. No, they used them stimulus check. They needed to go to Venezuela, so everybody's 5K stimulus check. That's where it went to. It's like, yeah, we had to fund our military. So shit. That's where it went. It went to the Department of War. I wonder, dude, I actually forgot about that 5K stimulus check. I guess I never considered, because I was like, man, that's a bunch of bullshit, man. Ain't about to get nobody no 5K stimulus check. Not especially after they was complaining about the COVID check. They was complaining about that shit. So I was like, man, they ain't about to sit here and complain about the COVID check and then turn around and give us a damn Doge check. I mean, so I was like, I'll believe that shit when I see it. Hell yeah. Well, shit. Hey, they said that you'll get it. They didn't say when you'll get it. They ain't say when. Hold on. Did he say that for real? Or are you just playing along? If he said that shit for real, dude, I honestly wouldn't even be surprised. I honestly really wouldn't be surprised. Like, what check? Did I actually say that? No, that's hilarious. Hell no. I ain't getting no check. Shit, this is his last term too. Honestly, I thought so. It's definitely going to be what the next election is, what, 2030. It's definitely going to be interesting. Or 2028. It's going to be interesting because the whole idea was that JD Vance would take the mantle from Trump and continue to hold the torch and move America forward. And at the time, I believed that to be true. Now, I really can't see that happening. I don't envision JD Vance being the next president. I just don't envision it. I can't envision it, actually. I mean, if it happens, then I guess. But if you really put somebody up against him, like a really good opponent, because I mean, obviously he's going to be tied to Trump. He's going to be tied to what happens during the economy. With all this ICE stuff going on, a lot of people that may have voted for Trump will probably see what's going on. A bunch of people's families were taken away. Families, friends were taken away. The economy is not going back to Trump's first term, or at least the conditions of his first term. A lot of his supporters have been affected by Doge. Anybody that believed the 2025 conspiracy, well, I mean it's no longer, well, I guess we have to really understand what the word conspiracy means. You know, is to conspire. A lot of, or at least people can assume a lot of what's been going on has happened. So I mean, if you really put all that in, if you consider all of that, I really don't think anybody would vote for more of it. That's kind of why we have like a string of Democrats and then a string of Republicans. I think that's why Trump is trying to get as much of the Democratic voter base removed from the system. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just really can't see JD Vance as the next president. I just can't see it. I don't know if anybody share. I just can't see it. And honestly, I don't see anybody from the Democratic Party either that could actually take the mantle. At least not a public figure. They don't have any more Obamas. I mean, the only person that could win for the Democratic Party would be Michelle Obama. And that's literally all they have. Nobody from their party would be able to step up. Kamala Harris has been proven to be incompetent. That laugh, that cackle that she does, and every time she speaks, you just see the incompetence. And I would have hated for that to be the person that represents us, because then everybody would think that America was stupid. Yeah, I mean, I really can't think of anybody. I really can't. Yeah, I really can't. That little Marco. Oh yeah, of course, Trump's core base. I mean, Trump's core base. They love it. They love the America First message, of course. But I was more referring to for the people that they don't necessarily go too hard for Trump. They're on the fence. It's like, well, if I had to pick a devil, then I would rather pick, the Trump as the devil. But yeah, I think next time we're gonna see a lot of people not vote. Probably. They probably won't vote, or they probably won't vote for. It's like I said, Doge affected a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna remember that. I mean, a lot of people remembered how the Biden administration made everybody get the jab in order to keep their job. But Doge literally took people's jobs. It literally shook people's livelihood. Doge actually made people go back to office. Our boy Smith got hit by that. Because Mr. Elon Musk was like, I don't like the fact that people are on their laptops, not working. I mean, the slaves aren't working. Mr. Elon. I mean, fuck the fact that, work is getting done. I don't need to work the entire 8 hours to get my shit done. As long as the work is getting done, I don't understand why the employers are just so, or at least they just hate the idea that, people was actually, if they had a work-life balance. And then I guess I understand the aspect that, they have these buildings. It's not like these buildings were free. And so, they want to utilize these buildings, but making everybody come back to office. A lot of people are going to remember these things when they go to vote. And they're going to remember how they felt. They're going to remember how their friends felt. And so everybody that was kind of on the fence, I don't know. Yeah, dude, investors, yeah, I believe it. I saw this story online, and you got to take those stories with a grain of salt. God damn it, Silver. You couldn't pull back? Well, all right, well. Well, all right, well, I guess in this instance, Silver didn't pull back enough. And this is kind of what I hate about Silver sometimes. Like, now she's doing that shit what Gold does. Now she's doing it. And it's getting kind of frustrating with Gold or with Silver now. Because it's like, am I going to trade at this level? Oh, okay. At the top of it? Or will I trade for the deeper pullback? And I'm always in a situation where either I choose this level or that level. But if I chose this level, I would have gotten stopped out and it would have went in my direction. But it doesn't pull back enough to trade at this level. So it used to be with Silver, you could have gotten in at this level and you would have gotten this result. Now it doesn't do this crap anymore and I hate it. It's like I'm trading Gold again. So it's like it's would have been those things. It's like, well, I mean, if I took this trade, I would have got stopped out. If I took this trade, at least I didn't lose any money, I guess. But I mean, it didn't even come back to my damn limit. All right, whatever, man. Whatever. All right, so I mean, that is a break of structure. So I guess I could just kind of look for a range and kind of move my limit up, I guess. We did get that break of structure. And then I mean it's not like we got a half day anyway, so I think the market closes in in the next 45 minutes or something like that. So I chopped it with that limit order. Yeah, dude, definitely. Yep, that's definitely true, Alfred. Definitely. I was actually thinking about that too, Alfred. This is exactly what they do. They call people stupid, but then they don't educate us, or there's no real education. Isn't that crazy? They call you stupid. It's like, oh my God, these eaters, these idiots. Oh my God, they understand. Dude, well, I guess I have to say this first. You've already been told to know thyself. You've already been told that. And because you've been told that, anybody that moves against your ignorance will go unpunished, or there will be no retribution. If you actually go against them, the karma will go to you. Because you've been told the truth. As long as you've been told the truth, you can be lied to. It's energetic law. So they have this system where they indoctrinate children into a system. They fill their heads with nonsense and crap and history. They tell you that they do it in their TV shows. And if you choose to ignore those parallels because you would rather you feel comfortable in ignorance or comfortable in an illusion, well, you've been told the truth. But kind of going back to my point, they teach you stupid shit and then call you stupid. They don't teach you how to do your taxes. They don't teach you how to think clearly. They don't teach you how to critically think. This information is definitely out there, because if this information wasn't out there, then they'll be moving against your will, and the Kemetic law will go against them. So it's available. It's just not necessarily easily accessible. You have to go out and look for it. And then not only do you have to go out and look for it, you have to go and shift through it and clean it up yourself, because obviously there's going to be a lot of misinformation. There's going to be a lot of half truths. And so they're not responsible for your interpretation, but the truth has to be available. That's why it's hidden in plain sight. They can't move against your will. Anyway, they know these. They know that 9 times out of 10, there's only going to be a few people that doesn't take the path of least resistance. There's going to be people such as myself that is so stubborn to the point where you'll get punched in the face and you'll still keep on fighting. As long as I can get up, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep moving forward. They know that only a few people are going to do that. And I guess those people would be like your truth seekers, people that won't accept what they're told. They want knowledge, they want truth, and they want it. And those are the people that they don't necessarily have to care about, because only a few people are going to do that. As long as the masses are going to take the path of least resistance, by, as an example, as we mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm going to tell you who you should like. I'm going to tell you who you should not like. And you saw that during the elections. I mean, you saw the craziness. You seen the craziness during the elections. If you watched the street interviews, you saw what people's belief systems were. You saw how if they were challenged, if their beliefs were challenged, that they didn't have anything logical in response. They just fought you because you didn't believe what they've been told to believe, even if you come with them with irrefutable truth. And they still fought you. They called you names. They deviated away from the truth and tried to branch off into something else, into a fight by calling you a Nazi or a bigot or a racist or a name that would elicit emotions, negative emotions. We've seen this. I guess let me get back to the point before I go on a tangent, right? Anyway, the quote unquote powers that be understands human nature. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to understand your nature. They understand that people are not going to do what they need to do. And because they know this, instead of saying that, hey, these are the roadblocks that are put in place, that are going to be placed in front of us in this game called life, they just keep it hidden. They distract you with social media and dopamine hits. I mean, shit, they got to the point to where now they can control your happiness and your sadness by the device that we all have in our hands every day. They can control how you feel. And they know all this. And yet at the end of the day, they will still call you an idiot. Even though they know that if you haven't been shown the light, you will stay in darkness. They will call you names like calling you an eater, or, yeah, I think eater is probably like a very great derogatory term to make them feel superior to you. Call you a name that lowers you in status, that doesn't even make you human anymore. You're just an animal that moves through impulse or from impulse, no logical thought, no critical thinking. They train you to be this way, and then they call you that name. Isn't that crazy? They train you to be a docile dog, and then they call you one as a derogatory term, as if they don't know that as soon as you awaken and educate yourself, then you'll just be as powerful as them. You'll become a creator. instead of someone that consumes. But, you know, I mean, I guess that's human nature too. Hmm. That's why I'm not interested in playing a lot of games that people play. I understand that there are games where there is literally no winners. Literally nobody wins. The system wins, but you as a player doesn't win. There's no, I guess, what you say, you throw your pearls amongst swine. There's no point in doing it. You get no benefit from it, and you lose something very valuable to yourself. So yeah, I don't play certain games, and I won't be conditioned to play certain games that moves me away or deviates me from my path. Just won't. Well, I'm glad that you were part of it. Anybody that was able to catch this breakout on silver. I guess I'll just have to wait for the pullback on this one. I don't know where it would pull back to, but just have to wait for the pullback. Oh shit, you know what? I didn't think about that. Copper didn't do nothing. Let me look at gold. Gold didn't do nothing. And it seems like the only thing that's ever moving is silver. Like silver's like the only thing that moves. It's the only thing that freaking moves. All the other metals are just dead. Pretty soon I have to get off, get my daughter straight. But I'll stay on for like 10, 15 minutes. Why not? Because I think what the market closes in the next, 45, 35 minutes? Well, I mean, I didn't have no short gain weight. I didn't have a short. I mean, I did have that one short earlier, but I got super stopped out of it. So I had a limit to sit in long. I was waiting for a pullback. I was waiting for a pullback. Just didn't pull back far enough. Honestly, I shit. Well, I guess technically, if I'm thinking technically, this is now the new major low, because this was the low of the leg that broke structure. Because this leg broke all this structure. It did pull back, and now this is now a new major low. But as long as price stays above 93.40 or 93.65 or wherever that low is, as long as price stays above this low, $99.365. That's cute. 9365. Make sure I put that on there. 9365. 9365. As long as price stays above that low, and then the bulls got it. As long as price stays above this low. Who's got it? Well, I mean, gain weight. We don't have the luxury of holding price positions overnight. You don't have that luxury. I mean, we all know that breakouts fail. We're getting a breakout above that high. Breakouts fail. So I wouldn't. So there's definitely going to be a pullback. Oh shit! I didn't even. Oh man, I didn't even pay attention to that. I didn't even pay attention to that. Well, I guess good thing I did. Well, damn, I didn't even pay attention to that. Shit, I didn't even pay attention. Okay, never mind. It wouldn't have. I would have got stopped out. I would have been pissed off. And... Okay. Pissed off. This thing stopped everybody right there. Steppenwolf. You know, honestly, gain weight. I was actually looking at the charts actually earlier today, and I was thinking about exactly what you said. I mean, after the price has been painted on the charts, man, we'll see if price does break down here. We'll see. It's like I said, this it took out this high. Breakouts usually fail. You don't necessarily should trade or trust a breakout. Looking for a breakout because they normally fail. And then I was thinking to myself, dude, this shit should just be simple. What makes this hard? 365. Like, what makes this hard? Like, what makes this, like, why don't we all take payouts every day? What really makes this hard? I'm trying to break this concept down. See, I mean, look at that. We're getting a failure at the highs, a failed breakout. I mean, honestly, what I probably should do here is probably just put like a limit right there and trade it to the downside. That's probably what I should do, right? I mean, what's so hard about that concept, you know? Breakouts fail. You got the range. You got a break. I mean, I should just, you know, trade the structure. I mean, that's what I should do. Oh, no. No, sir. Martin Luther King is actually a recognized holiday where I work. We got the day off, baby. Nice long weekend. But I'm gonna still log in and actually get some work done. I'm gonna still log in and get work done. There is no reason for me not to get work done, honestly. I guess But I do have to. So like I said, I'll stay on for a few more minutes, and then I have to get my daughter straight. It's time for her to get fed and all that other stuff. So it's almost about that time. I didn't think about this. I mean, see, I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have just kept my mouth shut. The Gameway says all we needed to do was clear the highs. All right, let's see. I hate the fact that this thing doesn't do that. Probably get this like 22. Let's give it 27. It's time. And the UFC used to be so lit. What? I don't feel the same energy coming from UFC no more. I don't remember the last UFC fight that I've watched. You said it's free now? Oh, is it? Paramount Plus? For real? Oh, that's interesting. I thought they had a deal with ESPN. Ah. Yeah, no more pay-per-view, huh? So once dang. Oh, dang, that's a lot. Oh, dang. That means you haven't watched it in a while. But yeah, I definitely fell in love with UFC. At first, I could care less for it. I mean, I knew my brother just wanted to go to Twin Peaks to see the titties. And shit, why not? Why not? Let's go to Twin Peaks. Let's look at the titties. Why not, right? But then I actually started watching one of the fights, and one of the fighters, it was such a technical fight. Oh my gosh, it was such a technical fight. And that's when I was like, man, I need to really start paying attention to UFC. I just thought it was a bunch of people fighting each other. But technically it is, but I mean, it's like it's a game of cat and mouse. It's like who has an edge over the other fighter. And there's definitely been a lot of great fighters. But I think that era I think it's over. I think it's over. You had an era of great fighters, and now those fighters are gone. Those fighters are gone. Man. You have hype fighters now. You have fighters that are, they're willing to put their body, like, if you really understand how dangerous it is for these fighters to cut weight, it is super dangerous. And for them to go out there and fight after cutting, it is super dangerous. Super, super dangerous. They're literally dehydrating themselves, dehydrating their brain, putting themselves at putting themselves at risk for permanent brain damage. It is dangerous. And then they go out there and hit each other. Dangerous. But yeah, it's like, dude, there's really no more good fighters, man. Dude, Twin Peaks used to actually be good, man. Twin Peaks used to actually be good. Like, the food was great. The waitresses, man, shit. Like, dude, and this will be the last thing we talk about, but Like Twin Peaks was literally the gateway to becoming a stripper. All the girls at Twin Peaks moved on to become strippers. It was fucking hilarious. You know, my brother dated like 2 of them. Crazy. Like, dude, what's up with you and these girls, bro? Like, dude, like their whole job is to. Anyway. But it's like literally a gateway to become a stripper. Because a lot of these girls get introduced to a lot of their sugar daddies, actually. They meet a lot of their sugar daddies in Twin Peaks. A lot of these girls get their college tuition paid for by these rich, old, lonely guys that has all this money, but they don't have. I mean, some of them have wives, but obviously they're not as attractive as these young girls, obviously. So, you know, they get their sugar daddies from Twin Peaks. And like I said, I've spoken to a lot of them. They all tell me the same thing. They all tell me the same thing. And then they like, dude, they all have the same script too. They all have to like, dude, it's like, bitch, I don't care if he was in the hospital, bitch. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I don't care. What does it do with me? Like, it's like, yeah, I was in the hospital, blah, 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 blah. You know, trying to get you to tip them more. It's like, no, you're going to get this regular tip. The fuck? Ain't the fuck? What the fuck they got to do with me? Why are you telling me that? I mean, I understand why. I mean, I get it. They're just playing towards a man's natural feeling of being a white knight, but nah, you're gonna get this regular tip, and that's it. If he was in a hospital or not, what the fuck that got to do with me? But my brother did like 2 or 3 of them. I was like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? But he said if you get a tip at all. I'm just gonna give you a regular tip, man. But yeah, Twin Peaks used to be good, but now, yeah, the food is. It's like Applebee's. It seems like a lot of these restaurants have taken the Applebee's route, where they just have horrible food, cheap, horrible food that people continue to come and pay for, and they say, well, shit, if people gonna pay for it, ain't no point changing it. I feel like Cheesecake Factory tried doing that, and probably they're low key doing it, but I'm pretty sure the sales went down, and I was like, all right, let's get back. Let's get back to it, because dude, we're not gonna pay Cheesecake Factory prices for Applebee's food. We'll just go to Applebee's and pay Applebee's prices. Play that game if you want. Yeah, and that's why you tip them. I mean, shit, when they provide a service, you provide service, you will get tipped. You're not gonna sit here and do your damn job and get money from me. Like, no. I'll give you the normal $10 is all I'm giving. Like, dude, I'm not giving no more than 10. I feel like 10 is a lot. But at the same time, I also have to know you also got to play the game too. You got to play the game. I mean, if you go to a restaurant and they recognize you as somebody that's not going to tip, then you're not going to get your food as fast. You're not like, dude, it's politics when you go out to eat. That's why I don't go out to eat. But when I do, I don't want to be known as the guy who's like, oh, you ain't got to tip. I'll serve him. Like, no, I'll give you the $10, and that's fine. But you ain't getting no more unless you do something extravagant. All right. Yeah, that's definitely, dude, that's definitely true. Like, dude, now they're asking you for tips for online orders, and like, that's where I just draw the line. I'm like, all right. So you're telling me I should tip you for driving? to the store and picking up my own food? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. And then we all know that the tips don't necessarily go to the servers. It just gets put in a pool and it gets divided between everybody. You know what? But okay. Didn't Hooters close down? Or went bankrupt or something like that? Damn. Damn. Alright. Okay. Man, that's the one thing I miss, man. That's shit. Only certain places in Texas get Waffle House. Yeah, you like that? Okay. But all right, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I gotta get my daughter situated. I definitely appreciate everybody that joined me today. We'll definitely come back later on tonight, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody.